Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the remarkable life of Claudette Colbert, a name that epitomizes the glamour and grit of Hollywood's golden age. From her humble beginnings in a Parisian suburb to her rise as one of the highest-paid actresses in America, Claudette's journey is filled with triumphs, challenges, and fascinating stories of love, ambition, and perseverance. So, get comfortable as we explore the incredible career, controversies, and personal moments that defined this iconic star. Claudette Colbert, originally named Émilie Lily Claudette Chauchoin, was born on September 13, 1903 in Saint-Mandé, a charming suburb of Paris, France. Her father, Georges Claude Chauchoin, worked as a banker but faced financial struggles due to poor investment decisions, while her mother, Marie-Augustine Lowe, was an ambitious woman of Jersey ancestry who dreamed of a more glamorous life. Claudette was the second child in the family, following her older brother Charles. The family affectionately called her Lily, inspired by the celebrated British actress Lily Langtry, although the church insisted on a saint's name for her baptism, officially registering her as Émilie. This name choice was symbolic of her parents' desire to blend tradition with individuality. Claudette's childhood was marked by tension and unfulfilled aspirations within her family. Her mother, Marie, believed she had married beneath her station and often expressed regret that her marriage to Georges, a man of dreams but little career direction, had curtailed her own ambitions. Marie firmly believed she could have achieved fame as an opera singer, a sentiment that she did not hesitate to voice at home. Georges, on the other hand, adored his daughter and doted on her, fostering a strong bond between them. Claudette grew up idolizing her father, finding comfort in his affection amidst the growing tension between her parents. In 1911, when Claudette was 8 years old, her family made the life-altering decision to immigrate to the United States in search of better opportunities. They settled in a modest apartment on East 53rd Street in Manhattan, New York City, marking the beginning of a new chapter. The move was not without challenges. Georges struggled to find stable work in their new country, while Marie's discontent with her circumstances deepened. Despite these struggles, Claudette showed remarkable adaptability to her new environment. A pivotal influence in Claudette's early years was her grandmother, Marie-Augustine Lowe, a native of Jersey, an island in the English Channel with a unique blend of French and British culture. Bilingual and worldly, her grandmother played a key role in Claudette's early education, teaching her English and instilling in her a love for literature. This foundation gave Claudette an advantage as she navigated her new life in New York and later contributed to her fluency in languages, which became an asset in her acting career. Claudette's academic journey in the United States was characterized by excellence and creativity. She attended Public School 59 and later Washington Irving High School, both of which nurtured her love for the arts. At Washington Irving High, she discovered her passion for theater and received training in voice, breath control, and diction, skills that would become essential for her future career. Her education also emphasized literature, particularly poetry, with students required to memorize and recite works by Walt Whitman, Lord Byron, and Shakespeare. This rigorous curriculum helped Claudette develop a deep appreciation for language and storytelling. An early incident shaped Claudette's character and resilience. During her teenage years, she suffered a serious accident while rushing home from a swimming lesson, stepping in front of a truck and sustaining a broken ankle, knee, and spinal injuries. The recovery period, which required months of bed rest, became a transformative time for Claudette. She later reflected that this forced immobility and the attention she received from visiting classmates and teachers strengthened her resolve and deepened her desire for the spotlight. During those months, she recalled, I began to see myself differently. I started to dramatize my own illness and realized that I might have a talent for performing. As Claudette grew older, her relationship with her mother became increasingly strained. Marie, who was dismissive of her daughter's achievements, often undermined Claudette's confidence. Despite receiving admiration from teachers and friends, Claudette yearned for her mother's approval, which was seldom granted. Instead, her mother continued to criticize her father, projecting her dissatisfaction onto Claudette. Yet, the unwavering support of her grandmother and aunt provided a counterbalance to her mother's negativity, encouraging her to dream big. The family's financial struggles meant that Claudette had to contribute from an early age. While attending high school, she worked part-time as a dressmaker's assistant and also taught French lessons to earn extra income. Her ability to navigate these challenges with grace and determination foreshadowed the resilience she would later display in her career. Claudette's first brush with acting came during her time at Washington Irving High School, where she participated in school plays and discovered her love for the stage. Her natural talent, combined with her training in voice and diction, set her apart from her peers. By the time she graduated, Claudette was determined to pursue a career in the arts, despite her mother's objections. The seeds of her future stardom had been sown during these formative years, as she balanced her family's expectations with her own aspirations. In 1919, Claudette officially adopted her middle name and became Claudette, marking the beginning of her journey toward independence. This change symbolized her desire to forge her own identity, separate from the constraints of her upbringing. While her early life was filled with challenges, it also provided her with the strength, adaptability, and determination that would define her illustrious career in Hollywood. Claudette Colbert's illustrious career began on the Broadway stage, where her charm and talent gradually earned her recognition. Her debut came in 1923 with a small role in The Wild Westcott. Though her early performances were modest and largely overlooked by critics, Claudette's potential caught the attention of influential producer A.H. Woods. Woods, known for his knack for discovering talent, recognized her star quality and became instrumental in shaping her early theatrical career. Under his guidance, Claudette appeared in notable Broadway productions, such as A Kiss in a Taxi and The Ghost Train. These plays not only honed her skills, but also brought her into the public eye, marking her as a rising star in the New York theater scene. In 1927, Claudette made the bold decision to transition from stage to screen, debuting in Frank Capra's silent film For the Love of Mike. However, her initial foray into film was far from smooth. The production experience was frustrating, and the film itself was a commercial and critical failure, nearly derailing her budding screen career. Claudette even vowed never to work in film again, but the advent of sound in cinema soon changed her mind. The emergence of talkies offered new opportunities, and her polished diction and theater training made her a perfect fit for this innovative medium. Her big break came with The Lady Lies, 1929, one of her first sound films, which showcased her ability to deliver dialogue with sophistication and charm. From there, her career took off, and she quickly became one of Paramount Pictures' most bankable stars. The 1930s were a golden era for Claudette, marked by a series of memorable performances that established her as one of Hollywood's leading ladies. Her defining moment came with It Happened One Night, 1934, directed by Frank Capra. The romantic comedy, in which she starred opposite Clark Gable, was a critical and commercial triumph, earning her the Academy Award for Best Actress. The film became a cultural phenomenon, and was the first movie to win all 5 major Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay. Claudette's portrayal of the spirited heiress Ellie Andrews showcased her impeccable comedic timing, as well as her ability to bring depth to light-hearted roles. The film also solidified her on-screen chemistry with Gable, leading to widespread rumors of a romantic off-screen relationship. In the same year, Claudette further cemented her stardom with Cleopatra, 1934, a lavish historical epic directed by Cecil B. DeMille. Playing the cunning and seductive Queen of Egypt, she captivated audiences with her regal presence and alluring performance. Despite her health issues during production, Claudette delivered one of the most iconic performances of her career, demonstrating her ability to seamlessly transition between genres. Another major success in 1934 was Imitation of Life, a poignant drama that explored themes of race, motherhood, and ambition. Claudette's role as Bee Pullman, a single mother and aspiring businesswoman, resonated with audiences and showcased her versatility as an actress. The film received critical acclaim and was later nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Throughout the 1930s, Claudette became known for her elegance, professionalism, and meticulous attention to detail. She was famous for insisting that she only be filmed from her left side, a preference that became her signature and often required elaborate adjustments to sets and camera angles. Her insistence on maintaining control over her image extended to her costumes and makeup, which she personally curated to enhance her screen presence. By the late 1930s, Claudette was one of the highest-paid actresses in Hollywood, earning $426,000 in 1938, making her the highest-paid woman in America at the time. Her ability to navigate both romantic comedies and dramatic roles made her a favorite among audiences and directors alike. Films like Midnight, 1939, and Boomtown, 1940, in which she starred alongside Spencer Tracy and Clark Gable, further solidified her status as a versatile and enduring star. The 1940s saw Claudette adapting to the evolving tastes of Hollywood audiences. She starred in the romantic drama Arise, My Love, 1940, which won the Academy Award for Best Story, and the wartime drama So Proudly We Hail, 1943, where her performance as a dedicated nurse during World War II earned critical praise. Her comedic talents shone brightly in The Palm Beach Story, 1942, directed by Preston Sturges, which remains a classic screwball comedy. As she aged, Claudette faced the challenge of transitioning from leading roles to more mature characters, a shift that many actresses of her era struggled with. Nevertheless, she embraced the change, taking on physically demanding and unconventional roles that showcased her depth and resilience. In Three Came Home, 1950, she portrayed a woman imprisoned in a Japanese internment camp, a role that required her to shed her glamorous image and display raw emotion. By the 1950s, Claudette's film appearances became less frequent as she began to focus on television and stage work. She made a triumphant return to Broadway with The Merry-Go-Round, 1958, earning a Tony Award nomination for her performance. Her final film role was in Parish, 1961, where she played a supporting character, marking the end of her cinematic journey. Despite stepping away from Hollywood, Claudette remained active in the theater, appearing in acclaimed productions such as The Irregular Verb to Love, 1963, and The Kingfisher, 1978. Her enduring love for acting kept her connected to the industry, even as she spent her later years enjoying a quieter life in Barbados. Despite her immense success, Claudette Colbert's career was not without its share of controversies and scandals. Often labeled a diva, Claudette's reputation for being demanding on set overshadowed her professionalism in the eyes of some colleagues and the media. She was known to insist on meticulous control over her performances, from her costumes and makeup to camera angles. Her notorious demand to be filmed only from her left side led to elaborate adjustments on set, often frustrating directors and cinematographers. While this insistence on perfection solidified her iconic image, it also contributed to her image as a difficult star to work with. One of the most publicized incidents during her career involved her co-star Frederick March. While filming Honor Among Lovers, 1931, and The Sign of the Cross, 1932, March allegedly harassed Claudette, making unwanted advances and behaving inappropriately on set. Claudette, unwilling to tolerate such behavior, took her concerns to the studio executives. Her response was to demand strict clauses in her contracts that allowed her to approve on-set photographs and required professional conduct from her co-stars. This bold stance was groundbreaking at a time when actresses were often expected to endure inappropriate treatment in silence. It also set a precedent for other actresses to advocate for their rights on set. In another controversy, Claudette found herself at the center of rumors about a romantic relationship with fellow star Marlene Dietrich. Both women were icons of sophistication and beauty in Hollywood, but their contrasting personalities and alleged rivalry fueled speculation. A particularly provocative photo from a 1935 party at Venice Beach showed Claudette and Dietrich in a suggestive pose on a slide, which sparked widespread rumors about their relationship. While both women publicly denied any romantic involvement, the speculation persisted, amplified by Dietrich's openly bisexual reputation and Claudette's modern marriage to Norman Foster, which some viewed as unconventional. The rivalry between Claudette and Marlene reportedly extended beyond professional jealousy. Dietrich allegedly referred to Claudette as ugly and dismissed her as shop girl French, a comment that only deepened the tension between the two stars. Despite this animosity, Claudette maintained her poise and rarely engaged publicly in the feud. However, close friends and colleagues have since suggested that there may have been a fleeting romantic connection between the two, though the true nature of their relationship remains speculative. Claudette's personal life was also the subject of public intrigue. Her first marriage to actor Norman Foster raised eyebrows due to their unusual living arrangement. The couple maintained separate residences throughout their marriage, with Claudette living with her mother, grandmother, and aunt in New York, while Foster resided at the Lambs Club. Claudette defended their arrangement, claiming that it was ideal for two independent professionals. However, it was widely known that her mother strongly disapproved of Foster, forbidding him from entering their home. This dynamic, combined with the marriage's eventual dissolution, fueled gossip about Claudette's relationship with her mother and her ability to maintain personal relationships. Another controversial chapter in Claudette's life involved her friendship with Verna Hull, an heiress and artist. Hull, known for her relationships with women like Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich, was rumored to be infatuated with Claudette. After Claudette moved to Barbados in her later years, Hull followed, purchasing a property nearby. Their relationship reportedly soured due to Hull's obsessive behavior, leading Claudette's second husband, Joel Pressman, to erect a physical barrier between their homes. The situation escalated further when Claudette ultimately severed ties with Hull, referring to her as the monster. Claudette's insistence on creative control also led to tension with directors and studio executives. On the set of Tovarich, 1937, she clashed with director Anatole Litvak over the firing of her preferred cinematographer. Claudette refused to continue filming until a replacement of her choice was hired, even offering to forgo her salary to cover the additional costs. While her determination to uphold her artistic vision was admirable, such incidents cemented her reputation as a strong-willed and uncompromising actress. In the 1930s, Claudette's ambition and assertiveness clashed with the studio system's rigid hierarchy. Paramount Pictures often viewed her demands as excessive, but her box office success made her invaluable to the studio. By 1938, she was the highest-paid actress in Hollywood, earning $426,000 annually, a fact that drew both admiration and resentment from her peers. Claudette's personal relationships continued to spark controversy throughout her life. Her second marriage to Joel Pressman, while outwardly stable, faced scrutiny for its stark contrast to her first marriage. Claudette's close bond with her mother also drew criticism, as many saw her mother as a dominating presence in her life. Rumors about Claudette's sexuality persisted, with some suggesting that her modern marriage and close female friendships hinted at same-sex relationships. While Claudette never publicly addressed these rumors, her ability to maintain her privacy added to her enigmatic allure. Claudette Colbert married twice in her life, with each union reflecting different phases of her career and personal growth. Her first marriage was to actor and director Norman Foster in 1928. At the time, Claudette was rapidly rising as a Broadway star, while Foster was a promising young actor from Indiana. Despite their apparent differences, Claudette's Parisian sophistication versus Foster's all-American charm, the couple shared a whirlwind romance that culminated in a private wedding during their London tour of the play The Barker. Claudette described Foster as her grand amour, using the French term for a once-in-a-lifetime great love. However, their relationship was fraught with challenges, many stemming from Claudette's domineering mother, Marie-Augustine Loyau. Marie strongly disapproved of the marriage, believing that Foster was not worthy of her daughter. She refused to allow him into their home, forcing the couple into an unconventional arrangement. Claudette continued living with her mother, grandmother, and aunt in their New York apartment, while Foster resided at the Lambs Club on West 44th Street. Claudette publicly defended this setup, calling it ideal for two independent professionals. But privately, it was a source of tension. Their marriage also suffered from professional jealousy and the pressures of Claudette's burgeoning film career. While she quickly became a major star in Hollywood, Foster struggled to establish himself, often feeling overshadowed by her success. The couple's inability to fully unite as a family led to growing resentment. Matters reached a breaking point when Claudette's brother Charles violently attacked Foster during an argument, breaking his nose. This incident, coupled with Claudette's increasing focus on her career, led to the dissolution of their marriage. In August 1935, Claudette obtained a divorce in Mexico, with the split reportedly amicable. Foster went on to marry actress Sally Blaine, Loretta Young's sister, shortly afterward. Later that same year, Claudette married for the second time, this time to Dr. Joel Pressman, a prominent surgeon based in Los Angeles. Pressman had performed her appendectomy in 1933, and their professional relationship soon blossomed into a romantic connection. Unlike Foster, Pressman's reserved and supportive personality offered Claudette a sense of stability and companionship. He admired her independence and ambition, providing a refreshing contrast to the dramatic entanglements of her first marriage. Claudette and Joel's marriage was rooted in mutual respect and understanding, though it too faced its challenges. Pressman preferred a quiet life away from the Hollywood spotlight, while Claudette's career demanded public attention. Despite these differences, they successfully maintained their partnership for over 3 decades. Joel became a steady presence in Claudette's life, often accompanying her to events and supporting her decisions. The couple spent much of their later years at their plantation-style home in Barbados, which Claudette lovingly restored. Their marriage was not without its trials, particularly as Joel battled terminal liver cancer in the 1960s. In 1967, upon receiving his diagnosis, Joel chose to spend his remaining days with Claudette in Barbados. Claudette remained by his side throughout his illness, providing unwavering care and comfort. When Joel's condition worsened, Claudette even enlisted the help of Frank Sinatra to arrange private transportation to bring him back to Los Angeles for treatment. Despite her efforts, Joel passed away in 1968, leaving Claudette devastated. While Claudette never remarried after Joel's death, she found companionship in close friends, including Helen O'Hagan, who became a significant figure in her later life. Claudette once remarked that her relationship with Joel was a partnership of equals, a union marked by love, respect, and shared values. Her marriages, though vastly different, reflected her complex personality and her struggle to balance personal relationships with her fiercely independent nature and demanding career. Beyond her two marriages, Claudette Colbert cultivated several significant relationships throughout her life, ranging from deep friendships to complex associations. These relationships, though often scrutinized by the public, played an essential role in shaping her personal and professional life. One of the most intriguing and complicated relationships in Claudette's later years was with Verna Hull, an eccentric heiress and artist with a penchant for abstract expressionism. Hull, who was rumored to have had romantic relationships with women like Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich, became infatuated with Claudette and relocated to Barbados to be near her. The two initially shared a close bond, with Hull often acting as Claudette's chauffeur and companion. However, the friendship soon became strained due to Hull's increasingly obsessive behavior. Joel Pressman, Claudette's second husband, grew uncomfortable with Hull's presence, referring to her as the monster. In response, he erected a physical barrier between their properties in an attempt to maintain some distance. The situation escalated further when Hull's actions crossed into manipulative territory. During Pressman's battle with terminal liver cancer, Hull sent Claudette a letter suggesting that Joel had confided in her about his intentions to harm Claudette, a claim that enraged the actress. Viewing this as an unforgivable act of emotional manipulation, Claudette abruptly ended her friendship with Hull, throwing her out of her life entirely. This dramatic fallout underscored the complexities of their relationship, which had veered from companionship to hostility over the years. In stark contrast, Claudette's lifelong friendship with Helen O'Hagan was one of stability and mutual trust. The two women met in the 1960s during the production of Parish, a film in which Claudette played a supporting role. Helen, a retired Saks Fifth Avenue executive, quickly became an integral part of Claudette's inner circle. Their friendship deepened after the death of Joel Pressman, with Helen stepping into the role of confidant and caretaker. Helen was a constant presence in Claudette's later life, particularly during her years in Barbados. She helped Claudette manage her household and provided emotional support as the actress dealt with the loss of her husband, mother, and brother in quick succession. The bond between the two women was so strong that Claudette entrusted Helen with much of her estate, including her Manhattan apartment and her beloved plantation-style home in Barbados. Helen's loyalty and dedication were a source of comfort for Claudette, who valued her friendship above many of her other relationships. Claudette also maintained a professional yet friendly rapport with several of her colleagues in Hollywood. Her close association with Cecil B. DeMille, who directed her in films like Cleopatra, 1934, and The Sign of the Cross, 1932, was notable. Although they occasionally clashed due to her meticulous demands, DeMille admired Claudette's talent and professionalism. Similarly, her on-screen chemistry with Clark Gable in It Happened One Night sparked rumors of a romantic affair, but both actors denied any such relationship. Despite this, their camaraderie on set left an enduring impression, and Gable remained one of Claudette's most memorable co-stars. Claudette Colbert passed away on July 30th, 1996, at the age of 92, in her beloved home in Speightstown, Barbados. The actress had chosen the serene and picturesque Caribbean island as her retreat in her later years, enjoying a quieter life away from the public eye. Her oceanfront plantation-style home became her sanctuary, where she spent her final decade swimming, tending to her garden, and hosting close friends. In her later years, Claudette suffered from several health issues, including a series of strokes that gradually weakened her. Despite her declining health, she maintained her trademark grace and independence, insisting on performing small tasks herself, such as preparing her breakfast and washing dishes. Her dignified approach to life, even in her final days, reflected the poise she had displayed throughout her career. Claudette's death marked the end of an era for Hollywood's golden age. Her ashes were interred in the Godings Bay Church Cemetery in Speightstown, Barbados, alongside her mother, Marie Augustine Lowe, and her second husband, Dr. Joel Pressman. This final resting place symbolized her deep attachment to the island, which had provided her with solace and peace in her later years. Though Claudette never had children, she left her $3.5 million estate to her closest friend and confidant, Helen O'Hagan. The estate included her Manhattan apartment and her carefully restored Barbadian home, both of which represented different chapters of her life. Helen, a retired Saks Fifth Avenue executive who had become Claudette's companion and caretaker after the death of Dr. Pressman, was a pillar of support in her final years. Claudette's decision to entrust Helen with her estate underscored the deep bond the two women shared. Claudette's passing was met with tributes from fans and industry figures alike, who remembered her as one of the most talented and glamorous actresses of Hollywood's golden age. She had been a trailblazer in her time, balancing elegance with an unapologetic assertiveness that allowed her to navigate a male-dominated industry with remarkable success. Her iconic performances in films like It Happened One Night, 1934, Cleopatra, 1934, and The Palm Beach Story, 1942, remains beloved by audiences and critics alike. In addition to her professional achievements, Claudette was remembered for her sharp wit, business acumen, and unwavering commitment to perfection. Even in her later years, she remained a figure of sophistication, earning admiration for her ability to adapt to changing times while staying true to her values. Claudette's legacy continues to inspire generations of actors and filmmakers. Her pioneering efforts to demand fair treatment on set, control over her image, and equal pay for women helped pave the way for future actresses to assert their rights in Hollywood. Beyond her career, she embodied a timeless sense of style and resilience, serving as a role model for those who strive to balance ambition with personal integrity. And that brings us to the end of Claudette Colbert's extraordinary story. Her life was one of brilliance, resilience, and sophistication, both on and off the screen. From her early struggles as a young immigrant to becoming an Oscar-winning actress, Claudette left a lasting legacy in Hollywood and beyond. If you enjoyed learning about her journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more captivating stories from Hollywood's golden past.